Hi, I'm Elaine. Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com. I am featuring a stamp set called Eclectic Expressions. These are abstract images which you can use to build a background. This is the second release in Celebration, and it's one of the new choices you can choose with a qualifying order of £45 or more. It's multiples of £45, so for every £45 you spend, you can choose a freebie from the Celebration brochure. I was really intrigued at how they did this effect with the striped image, and so I thought I'd have a go. And initially I did it by hand, and you can see they are a bit wonky. Not very good. And then I suddenly realised I was part of the L2L group, and I was able to order and receive my Stamparatus early. So why not use the Stamparatus? That's what it's for. So my card base is 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. That's 21 centimetres by 14.85 centimetres and folded in half. I have a lemon lime twist layer that measures 4 7/8 by 3 1/8. That's 12.4 centimetres by 7.9 centimetres. Some lemon lime twist scrap for punching your label, and then the whisper white layer to go on top. That measures 4 3/4 inches by 3 inches. That's 12.1 centimetres by 7.6 centimetres. And for the inside of the card, you need a piece that's 5 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. That's 14 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. And you need a piece of whisper white scrap for punching the label. Tranquil Tide and lemon lime twist ink, adhesive back sequins, silver metallic thread, and the everyday label punch. I've also mounted some of the stamps on a block A, B, and C, I think. There's some things you still need to do with traditional stamping. The Stamparatus has 2 acrylic hinged plates, but you can only use one acrylic plate at a time. You shouldn't put both plates into the centre at the same time, because it will damage the acrylic plates, and it can even crack or break it. So I'm only going to be using one, so I'm going to remove that plate and set it aside. And because it's a rubber stamp, I don't actually need the foam mat adapter for photopolymer stamps, so I'll set that aside as well. Now underneath the Stamparatus you have your magnets stored. These are very, very strong. I've wrapped painter's tape round it, and also somewhere to hold of, and then just slide it off the Stamparatus. There's a metallic sheet underneath it so that the magnets will adhere to it. My Stamparatus, I found that if you're stamping right in the corner, the gap here is wider and it doesn't quite reach the paper. So I found a solution. I bought some memory foam from the local craft store. This isn't endorsed by Stamping Up, it's just a solution I found that worked for me. So it's thinner than the foam mat that comes with the Stamparatus. Then I place a grid sheet on top, place my cardstock on. I'm not going to put it right in the corner at the top because I need to stamp there. This is about 1/2 inch, so, and the hinges are about an inch apart, and I need to stamp right at the edge. I'm going to put my cardstock in line with the stamp here, towards the bottom of the hinge. Stick my magnet on to keep the paper in place. I've also got a stamp set placed next to the Stamparatus so that when the acrylic plate is not in use and I want to ink it, I have something to rest the plate on to keep it level with the top of the hinge, and it stamps better, inks better that way. Move it down one hinge and repeat. So I'll probably fast forward this. Now I need to flip my cardstock over, and again I need to find out the position of where my cardstock should be. So I'm going to stamp that on my imaging sheet and then place that underneath, my cardstock underneath, so it aligns with it. And then make sure that my cardstock is straight with the grid paper. Pop that back on and I'm good to go. Now notice that I haven't moved my stamp, I've just merely moved the paper. That's why I've got the grid sheet underneath. And I've put the imaging sheet right in the corner and then stamp the stamp onto the imaging sheet. So place the imaging sheet right into the corner there. I can then just move my cardstock around to where I want it. Pop the magnet on and I should have the position for stamping my next lot. So now when I want to stamp the other side, put my imaging sheet back up the top and I've flipped the cardstock over so that I can find the correct position where to place my cardstock. Move the imaging sheet and I'm ready to stamp. Reposition my cardstock back with the imaging sheet right in the corner to see where my cardstock should go. So I'm moving the cardstock rather than the stamp. So that seems to be the right position and off we go again. Back with the imaging sheet, reposition my cardstock. I had to trim a bit off at the end because it just wouldn't fit. So now it fits perfectly. Reposition the cardstock and I'm good to go again. You can see I've missed a bit there, so all I have to do is reposition my paper. So there you've got a perfectly aligned stripy background. Adhere that to the accent piece in Lemon Lime Twist. Adhere this to the card front. Set that aside and now I can tackle the label. Punch out a label in Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to stamp thank you and punch it out. Now I want it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to use a post-it note so I've got something to hold on to. And I've made it equidistant so the edge of that cut-off corner is in alignment with the bottom of that curve. Punch. And then I will just cut that off. I can layer it with the Lemon Lime Twist underneath. So a little bit of stamping with Lemon Lime Twist in the corner. Tranquil Tide I'm going to stamp off. Little splatter pattern. Dimensionals on the back. Pop that on the Lemon Lime Twist layer. Wind the silver metallic thread around your hand a few times. Oops. attach it to a glue dot, pop that in the middle, place it on your card front, pop some adhesive back sequins on the card, and to finish just a little bit of stamping in this corner here and some little spots on the inside. And there you have it. Which colour do you prefer, the one in Lemon Lime Twist or the one in Tranquil Tide? I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you like it, do give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook, and I'll be ever so grateful if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for visiting today, and I'll be back soon. Bye!